Nubook 1, From Then to Now, Part 44. As he stood in front of us, he became all the light that surrounded him. His wonderful appearance is the real light. Rebazartars said that he very seldom appears, but it was for me that he did, because of the devotion that he knows is constantly growing within myself. I have had a lot of experience so far, and I was wondering how much more I could take. All three of us left the huge palace and went outside. I have to meet with the other guides before we go further. I will meet you back at Shish's palace when we are ready, said Rebazartars. Before we went back to her place, Shish took me to an ocean that was a short distance away. We flew there, up and over the palace tops, and into a sky that was all light. I miss the blueness of the sky, I said. Then suddenly the light parted, and behind it was hidden the bluest sky with a huge sun in the great distance. He has a love for you and all, and anything you want here you can have. So here is your sky, and as you can see, it can only be the ears in the great beyond that is waiting for you, said Shiz, as she smiled. We flew into the bluest sky that seemed to sing with the lovely sound of life. It was a pure experience of wonderment and a real love that cannot be described. I knew that Shish and I were meant to be. She was beyond the angels that I read about in books upon the earth. All the stories I have read are very pale in comparison to the experience of being here with her. Every moment is alive. We finally arrived at the ocean on the 7th level. It seemed to be an endless sea of light, with gold and blue colouring. We went down and sat along the shoreline. There was a golden sand that was similar to earth, but different all its own. There were lovely green palm trees, with long and lush branches that were bigger and much healthier looking than where I lived. We sat in the warm sand and rested up against several palms that were clustered together. This is where I would be if I lived here, Shish. I would be here along the ocean of life, I said. There were small waves that rolled into the shore and made the sound that rolling waves do. I looked to the sky and saw a sun in the great distance, as I knew it was the ears. It was not hot like on earth, but was just the right temperature, which made everything that I was experiencing to be of a pure harmony. That is not a sun, like in the first few levels, Goldie. What you are seeing is the great reality itself. It is showing itself to you from beyond the levels that it exists, in a place that it is all to itself, because it is pure, she said. Amazing, I said. I knew that this was a reality like nothing else. The earth was forgotten after being here, but what lingered inside was the love and compassion for all the souls who were still in the lower levels. As I looked up at the true reality, I could sense the realization that it was communicating with me about what I was to do back on Earth. It seemed to be concerned for all who were still searching for it. This isness is the centre of all the endless number of beings that are everywhere throughout its endless reality. Man's conception of the Creator is an old man, or some form of personality that was invented by promoters for the purpose of control. The space gods have portrayed themselves as the ultimate, but they cannot fool people into considering them to be the is. From where I was at, and what was taking place within me, it was very easy to realize what has happened on the earth, because of the limited position the physical mind produces. No amount of explanation I could give would produce any experience for anyone about the reality of this place and those who reside here. I was far beyond even the dreams that we consider to be something wonderful. This universe is so much more than any dream. You are finally happy here, Goldie, she said. Yes, I am, Shiss. This place is a perfect world that has everything. Then I had to ask her something. Why have you sought me out, Shiss, when you already have all of this? I asked. She gleamed her beautiful smile and said, I have always loved you so deeply that you are a part of me, and I want to be with you forever. It is not like the desire that exists on the earth between two bodies, but a real connection of being that continues to expand beyond all things of any nature. All souls find their place sooner or later, and you and I are perfect for each other, she said. I must be having the same experience, Shiss. I have never met anyone like you. You add to my life in a way that goes beyond anything that I have ever known. I could be here with you always. All of what is taking place is because of the reality that has made all of this possible. I would like to consider that what I know and am from this world will be known back on the earth when I return, I said. You will know you were here within yourself, but your mind will soon wonder if it all really happened. The earth is a hard place, and all the events that take place there are because of the choices that each person makes. People think that life is hard because they are on the earth, but what they do not realize is that the life they are in is not the reality life is. You can see beyond the veil, Goldie, so much so that nothing will hold you back. It is your time to bring to the earth what all souls are seeking. Unfortunately, there will only be a few who will sincerely make the effort. The history that has been produced on the earth is a good indicator of how people see their life and limitations. Those unique individuals who came in the past to provide the lighted way were soon gotten rid of, because the majority of the masses are always convinced about what has been presented to them from the authorities that make the rules for others to follow. As you can plainly see and behold, there are no rules or morality here, no restrictions or confinements, nothing to hinder the beauty that everything already is. This level is beyond all goodness and darkness, nothing but pure love and a glorious insight of being isness exists here. All those who reside here would have it no other way. The dark hearts that rule the minds of men will never see this place until they have gone through all the process they need to, and become pure. There can be so many ways to explain what could be possible for any soul to reach this level, but something must take place within the individual to make the beginning of the journey possible, she said. I began to wonder if I really had to go back after achieving this level. Shiss began to laugh, and then said, Goldie, of course you have to go back. As usual, you are not seeing the whole picture. You must go back, because you are a part of what is taking place now. Without you, the earth would be like a dead zone. The great reality and all the real guides have prepared for who knows how long to get you, yes you, to this position, to present the true reality to all who will listen. Even those that don't listen will be affected in a very good way. You have free will, but the experience lies in the sacrifice of what you must do. Your very being knows what is true, but you must make the right choice. Before you go back, You must go forward into the ears. You will take the journey many times, and each time you will learn more about yourself and what you must do. This is your time and your greatest adventure, and only you can do it, she said, with the sweetest tone in her voice. I knew she was right. I had finally reached a dream come true, and now I would have to leave, and probably not remember that I was here. I couldn't be discouraged because of how this place and the reality of it is. But now that I was here, I had such a great perception of everything. Rebazartars soon returned and said we were to leave now for the higher levels until we reached the ears. I said goodbye to Shiss, and she said she would always be around, and I would see her again. Rebazartars and I left through the sky, up over the gigantic ocean that seemed endless, as we soon came to the invisible border of the next level. Once again I was perplexed by what I was going through and becoming aware of. I knew that I must hold my course, even though a part of me wanted to just live and forget what would eventually be taking place on the earth. The impact of all of this was something that I would come to understand as I gained the objective view from what was taking place now. This experience would be like a preview of ones that would occur in the future. Rebazartars said we would move rather quickly through the levels to get to the ears. All I could do was go through the experience and try and realize the fine realism of it. There is no language or understanding on earth that can relate to what was taking place in my life at this moment. We stopped at a place I would never have believed possible, but that is what I considered about the 7th level. We were now entering a new unseen position for me. Rebazartars had been here many times before, and he knew the secret way to the unknown, which very few did. I had no conception at all as to what was going to happen next. As I was looking into this different kind of universe, I thought about Shiss and what she had said to me. I had to go against a form of resistance within myself, because I knew that when I completed this journey, I would have to fulfill the obligations of it. This is what all of us must do when we gain our position with our real awareness. We must, for our own being's sake, expand our adventure. It is the way of the ears. Here again is an objective view of what is taking place with the elementary experiences all of us go through while on places like the Earth, and that is the creative inventiveness always becomes outdated and limited. It must be so. Just like being raised by our parents, there comes a time when we must head out on our own, and for me at this moment it was even more than that, way more. Looking forward into something that was, and is totally indescribable, was rather hard at first. What intrigued me was the sound that was coming from this new area, of this strange new unseenness. It was a haunting and beautiful sound that seemed to tempt my very being, like a beautiful deer in the forest that you come upon and want to touch it and experience its gentleness. This is how our being really lives and survives past the temporary physical life. It lives on the sound and in the light of the many levels and worlds that are available to us, yet unseen from the human mind. On Earth a person eats material things for surviving in the body form, but in these real universes there is no need for anything, only the light and sound, as there is also no disease or discomfort like there is on the Earth.